Hello, and welcome to Get the Word Across. This is the show where we try to get phrases into the conversation. So you could consider it like a semi-scripted podcast. Overall, it's unscripted, but we have 100 different phrases in a list that we're trying to say throughout our conversation. Every episode, my guest and I will be competing to say the most phrases while still keeping up a reasonable conversation about the episode. At first, the whole goal of this was to keep your phrases secret, but after some discussion and thinking about it, we've decided it makes more sense to just say the phrases in the conversation and try to keep it natural and just try to say as many as possible. So as much as you'd love to find the secret phrases, we're just going to try to say the most. So, today I have Lucy here. Hello, Lucy. How are you doing?
Hello, sorry, you caught me mid-yawn. I'm doing good, thank you.
Good.
Very
So, yeah.
excited, as
Um
always.
yeah, glad to have you here as usual. Lucy's a frequent guest on Open Mic Podcast, so if you haven't heard her already, what are you doing? Go watch more episodes. Um so, another thing that changed pretty suddenly for this is we had a TV show lined up for our first episode, and that TV show we're still gonna do. But then we found this show on YouTube that I really like, and I found that it was coming out today on YouTube as you're watching this. It is called Jet Lag the Game. So it's this game created by like these nerdy YouTubers where they've made these like kind of like board games and strategy games, and the world is their board. So they've done like Connect Four across America, they've done Tag across Europe, they've done just a race to visit the most states, and they have these challenge cards, and it is a really great show. And we discovered that the first episode of their new season, which I'm just gonna call Race Across New Zealand or Race to the End of New Zealand, is out the day you're hearing this, Wednesday, March 8th. We were able to watch it in advance because it comes out a week earlier on Nebula, which has many great shows, but I'm not here to talk about Nebula. So yeah, it's a great show, and we're going to be talking about the very first episode of Jet Lag the Game, so feel free to go watch that after this.
Or
Actually,
before, if you don't
probably
want
before
spoilers.
is going to make more sense, yeah.
But if you
Anyway,
don't want to watch it, we're going to break it
if you're
down
not
for
gonna
you.
watch it, you can act as if you did watch it. But yeah, first episode is out today.
Yeah.
I don't know when they release, but anyways. Um so yeah. So, Lucy, do you want to tell them about the format of this season of Jet Lag?
Yeah, so they're going to race from the top to the bottom of New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
They they came up with it in advance. It was, they sit down,
They
plan
spent
out
months
all the
preparing
things.
these, yeah.
Yeah, they probably like, I don't know, sat around a table. The table had a black marble top. They
Mm,
had their laptops out and they
yeah.
were, you know, scurrying away trying to come up with ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and eventually, this is the product that they came up with. Um, so yeah, they basically have to go along the roads and stuff.
Yeah, so like
Um,
they're going across the
yeah,
highway. They're two teams of two. So they've got the I think is it yellow and red team? I don't know. But the red team is um
Ben and
Ben
Adam.
and Adam, who they're always on jet lag, and the yellow team
Yeah,
is Sam and this girl from New Zealand named Toby. I have no idea what else she does, but
yeah,
she's cool so far. Apparently, like she had multiple jobs to make ends meet. I don't know where I heard that, but yeah. So they're the yellow team, and so it starts out where they're just running to their cars, and you see that Ben. Well, he was a slow moving man, but he was like they're all running as fast as they can, and they're just racing to their cars because the whole point is they're driving down the highway system, and at certain points in throughout the highway map, there's like challenges they have to do. So
yeah.
it's first starting with they race to their car so they can get to the first challenge. So Lucy, do you have anything to add about the race to the cars?
I don't, but I did want to add something else. So you broke down who's playing.
Mm-hmm.
So there's, 4 people on camera, but there's also, people behind the scenes. They'll have editors. They have a whole team, I'm sure. Like off the top of my head, I'd say the company has 500 employees. There's there's a lot of them. So in my humble opinion, anyway,
Yeah.
I don't know. This is just a guess, but they're a pretty big group. They
who's
have their
your
own
favorite?
buffs and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, they have a whole set of merch that we were just seeing. But
Yeah.
who's your favorite of the 4, or even just the 3? Because Ben, Adam, and Sam are the main cast. But
Yeah, Ben, Adam, and Sam. Obviously we know them. But then there's Toby as well, and like I don't really know a lot about her, but I feel like she's the kind of person, like her landlord kept her apartment very warm, kind of thing. Like she was comfortable.
yeah. As for me,
So
I Ben's cool. I think all of them are really cool. In fact, like I'm in the middle. I really don't know. I don't know what to decide. Toby just kind of feels
good.
like she was like, I don't know, like kind of the kind of person who she was out on the deck of the ship when she saw the first ghost or something like that. I don't know. Don't you agree? Like that's just kind of the vibe you get from Toby.
Yeah, I mean she was quite random. Like yeah. And I feel like it's almost like she's almost there by accident. Almost like Sam perhaps owes her something, Like this one time when I was in school, right? This girl didn't like me. And we were doing like a pottery class.
Okay.
And we were making like sculptures of our faces. And I had just gotten the face where I wanted it when my classmate bumped into me and the clay fell over. So like even though my classmate didn't like me, I was kind of like, I don't know. She was like, come to my birthday party. So I was like, okay. Because she felt bad about knocking over my clay. So I feel like it's that kind of thing. Like Sam probably did something by accident to like mess her up in some way. And now he's paying her back by letting her come on his cool show. So
yeah, interesting. Sure. Yeah.
So respect to Sam for that. He looks out for his friends.
So they get to their first challenge, which is they have to sandboard down a dune that's at least 50 feet tall. They get to these like dunes in New Zealand, and yeah, do you want to talk about how that went for them?
Yeah, so they had to run, and again, is it? I get Ben and Adam mixed up.
Adam's the tall, skinny guy. Ben's the one with the overalls. That's my
wait. Which one's the one with the overalls? Ben.
Ben has the overalls. Yeah.
Ben has the overalls. Okay. Yeah. So Ben and Toby did not really like running so much, so they just waited at the bottom while Sam and Adam went up to the top to like snowboard down. And they basically made like a deal. They basically said like after he arrives, we'll all come out, which is kind of like they're just gonna wait, rather than all going up. If that makes sense. So they waited for one of them to arrive at the bottom. Yeah. So it ended up being more underwhelming than they expected. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So they're doing the challenge, and Sam starts sandboarding, but it's just really slow. And he's ahead of Adam, so Adam runs for it and does like a whole jump and everything. He just falls. He falls backwards. But Sam makes it down eventually, meaning that Sam and Toby won the challenge. And from there, they leave and they start talking about the next set of challenges. So there's like this fork in the highway where they can go on 2 different paths. One of the first challenge on one path is luck based, and the first challenge on one path is all luck based, and then the other path is less luck based. But it takes like I think the first challenge on the less luck based path was like something they had to make a sandwich or something, and they made falafel. It was like a falafel sandwich. We'll talk more about that later. Lucy, are falafels vegetarian? Are they meat? What are falafels? Because I know you're
I
kind of
don't
like, you're
know.
vegetarian, so you're like, I do not
I
eat
am
meat,
a
stuff like that.
vegetarian.
But yeah, I don't know what a
So
falafel is. We'll get to that in
I
a
don't.
minute. But
We will get to that. We
mhm.
will.
Yeah, anyways.
Why
So
do you ask?
I just wondering. Um, so Sam and
Yeah.
Toby, they finish the challenge first, so they get a head start, and they're driving off, and then they tell us about the power-ups for the season. Lucy, do you want to go over the power-ups at all, or do you want to name one? And
Um,
I'll.
are those like the things that you spend your
Those are the
coins
things that they
on?
can spend points on. Yes.
Yeah. So you can be coming along the road behind someone and all of a sudden like you might be thinking, oh, we're in last, that's a problem, but then it looks like you have bigger problems because they might use a curse on you or a roadblock or a Nerf gun bullet, which is gonna slow you down. We haven't really seen that in action yet, so I can't really say more than like those three that I've named, and I can't remember the others off the top of my head. I think that's half of them that I just named though.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The ones you didn't name, gotta be honest, I don't remember. Those are the main ones I remember. The Nerf bullet, which if you get shot with a Nerf bullet at all in the challenge, your team has to stop for 30 minutes.
Mm.
So it's like a big penalty. And I don't remember what the other two things were, but none of them were extremely important this episode. So, anyways, they go down the road, and Sam and Toby decide they're going to take the luck path. And the first challenge in the luck path is they have to dig a hole. But the thing is, they roll a die, multiply the number by 6, and that's how many inches the hole needs to be. And
So
of
they
course,
roll that die
they roll their die.
and they get a
They get a
6.
6. So they have to get 36 inches, which is like obviously the biggest possible, but that's 3 feet,
Yeah.
nearly a meter. And that's a really deep hole to dig. Um, so yeah,
Yeah.
they
Sorry, I
start
keep
doing
yawning.
that. No, you're good. You're good. They start digging, and it just fills with water. Like, it makes you
Yeah.
think. Like, I take showers twice a month or something, but they're just like they're digging this hole and filling with water, and it almost looks like we're like purple ducks in a gray pond. But yeah, and
Okay.
yeah, I it just feels like it's devastating for them. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
it's definitely not a great, like, they probably weren't having too much fun doing that. Like, I would love to dig a hole. It would be fun. But by the time you've been at it for over half an hour, you've got sand everywhere. Um, you know, starting to get wet. They're hitting shells and water at the bottom.
Mhm.
It's not really an ideal, like, I imagine these two have a platonic relationship, but it's not really like a great first date for these two, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure they'd much rather be at like, going out to a nice restaurant or something, and like Sam would be there, like, oh, you look so amazing in that red dress and heels,
Oh
and
gosh.
Kobe's kind of there, like, oh, thank you so much. I take showers twice a month. So
Well, no need to
truly,
start
that would be
shipping
so much
anyone
more
right
fun.
now, but
No, of course.
yeah, they're doing their challenge, and eventually they decide they have to veto it, which means they're
Yeah.
just stuck where they are for 60 minutes, which is brutal.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Ben and Adam are driving, and this is something I've
Mm.
wanted to mention, and this is unrelated. This is genuinely unrelated to what we have to say. Their car is named Dan. They chose to do that. And I think that is a great name for their car. If I didn't say
Yeah.
it, I'm Dan, by the way. So,
Hi, Dan.
yeah. But yeah, they have them and their car. So I am rooting for Ben and Adam just because of that.
Automatically,
Yeah.
and the car. The
They're
car is a
driving
new
along with
character.
Dan, and they get to their first challenge, which
Mm.
it's just it's you have to like make a sandwiches with ingredients from 4 different things, and one of them has to be a restaurant that's not a fast food restaurant. So imagine a New Zealander, someone like a New Zealand, like she has multiple jobs to make ends meet or something like that. So she's working at all these places, and she just sees Ben and Adam everywhere, getting all these different sandwich materials. Do you want to talk about what they got to make the sandwiches?
Yeah, so I mean, they actually did a really good job. So they seemingly pretty quickly went and picked up all the things. Like they were good at just deciding and grabbing whatever was nearest. Because I'm really bad at decision making. So I would I mean, even today I was in a cafeteria and I had to to select some food, and I was like completely lost for choices. I was like, what do I do? I mean, I didn't even know what to wear to my best friend's funeral like that. So I really respect those guys for their picking of items pretty quickly. Um, but yeah, they put falafels in it
Yeah.
and cheese and bread that they were
Waffles,
calling toast.
cheese, pepperoni, and bread.
Pepperoni.
Yep, or pepperoni salami or something like that. Some sort of deli meat. But
Smiles in vegetarian.
so yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, they make their sandwich and they drive off to the sign for the place, which I forgot what the place was called. It's a place in New Zealand. And they have to take a
Didn't
hearty.
it translate to like hearty something or plentiful or something?
Yeah, it translates to plentiful. But yeah, they had to take a hearty bite of their sandwich, which honestly they liked it seems.
Yeah. They both seem to
Yeah.
like it as well.
Yeah, they both tried it. It seemed like a good falafel sandwich. So
Yeah.
yeah, they're driving. Then they leave and they drive. And they were talking about it. Like Adam was mentioning, like, oh, in New Zealand they drive on the left side of the road, and I just have to remind myself of that because if you don't drive on the right side of the road, you die. And I was like, yeah, the car crash that was like so instantaneous. There wasn't a car crash, but it was so instantaneous that like you barely have time to process it. There was no car crash, but like if they did drive on the right side of the road, there would not be time to process it.
But the right side is the wrong side.
Exactly. The right side is the wrong side, so they have to drive on the left side.
Yes. Anyway, moving back to our favorite friends on the beach, and Toby, they're still digging and they're kind of realizing this isn't working out. Now Toby actually thinks, right, we can't just keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So she's very gifted, so she starts coming up with some different strategies, which involves like kind of going in a line and the two of them digging in different places. And they start discussing like, should we veto this one? They see that the penalty is an hour, and they're left with a decision. They kind of think, we just have to wait for things to happen sometimes. Like they've put time into it already. But then at the same time, they also don't want to keep losing time if they're not going to be able to complete it.
Mm-hmm.
So in the end, after some discussion, they did veto the
digging
beach
challenge.
Yeah.
They vetoed the beach, so they're stuck for 60 minutes.
60 minutes.
Were Ben and Adam doing anything at that point besides just driving to the next challenge?
No, I think they were just driving away. I pretty much think that's it for this episode.
Well, all right. I think that's I think that's all we've got to say.
Yeah.
So, first of all, I feel like we picked on Toby a bit there. I'm sorry, Toby.
Toby, we love you. Toby, yeah. Toby was the victim of several of my.
There were a number of she statements, and Toby was the only person that. Anyway.
Yep.
So yeah, that's the episode. That's all we're doing for Get the Word Across. Lucy,
I'm dying to know
share how many phrases you said in this conversation.
Yeah. Do you want to guess actually how many I said?
I'm gonna guess 7.
No.
No? Would you like to guess for me? How many you think I said?
I'm gonna guess 5.
Okay. No.
Was I higher or lower for you? Do I need to go higher? Do I need to go higher for you?
You would need to go higher.
Okay, I only really spotted 3 that you said like awkwardly.
Okay.
So if you guess for me now. So you need to go higher from 7.
I need to go higher? Shoot.
Yeah.
10.
Okay, no. Higher still. Now I'm gonna go back to you.
All right.
I'm gonna guess 7 for you.
Nope, it's higher.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Did you do 12?
Nope. Lower.
Okay.
And for you, I'm gonna say. Wait, what did you say before?
It's higher
Did
than
I say
7.
8?
It's higher than
Oh,
7.
okay. I'm gonna guess 8 for you.
Nope, still higher.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so you said 11. You said
I
11
said 11.
phrases. All
I
right,
did say 11.
good job. You want to guess how
Did you
many
say
I
9?
said? I did say 9. Yep.
So I won.
Yes, you won. You said the most phrases. Good job. Pause the episode and try to guess the phrases we said. I said 9 phrases. Lucy said 11. There
Woo.
could be some phrases that we both had, but we'll
Yeah.
see.
I know there was at least one that we both had.
Yep. All right. Anyways.
All right.
Do you want to
Shall we
share
go in
yours
order?
first?
Yeah.
All right. Go for
So
it.
my first one was the table had a black marble top.
Yeah. All right.
How smooth was I for that one?
You were smooth, but I still noticed it. Like that.
Yeah.
That was the best way you could have done that.
Yeah. No, yeah.
You go
Okay.
first.
So, and then my next one was really tough. Off the top of my head, I'd say the company has 500 employees.
Nice. I knew there was something going on there. I wasn't sure what though.
Yeah. I had to just commit to that one. My plan was to just try and sound as convincing as possible. Yeah. And then my next one was really tricky. Her landlord kept her apartment very warm. Because you were saying all about ends meet with Toby before, so I was like, I felt really bad saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I got there. I got it done. Now this one was so stupid.
What?
The next one was I had just gotten the face where I wanted it when my classmate bumped into me and the clay fell over. Which I think is the longest sentence. Maybe like either joint longest. I don't know.
I see.
Second long. Third longest.
I see it's not the longest one I have at least. So.
Yeah, I think I have 2 that are longer. But yeah, that one was hard. So I had to make up this silly little story to justify why Toby was on the show. Again, Toby, I'm sorry. Yeah, and then my next one was after he arrives, we'll all come out, which was them going down the sand dunes. If you remember me saying that one.
Yes, I remember that.
A fairly easy one again. It looks like you have bigger problems.
Oh wow! There are some normal sentences on this list. I did not catch that one.
Yeah, so I was just like, I don't know. I think I just said that when I was describing the curses and stuff that they could throw. Yeah. I said like, oh, you're behind, and then suddenly it looks like you have bigger problems.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, that was smooth. And then I did do also. You look so amazing in that red dress and heels.
Oh, that's why you were doing that. Okay.
Yeah. And then I also thought, well, this is a golden opportunity for her to be like, thanks, I take showers twice a month. I thought I'd just, kill 2 birds with 1 stone there. I feel like I was a bit obvious with that one because you had just read that one as well. And then the next one was I had to talk about how indecisive I was. My prompt was I didn't know what to wear to my best friend's funeral. Full disclosure, I've never actually been to a funeral. And then my next one was she's very gifted, which you probably picked up on that.
Not as much as others. Yeah.
And then finally, my last one was we just have to wait for things to happen sometimes.
Okay. Interesting. Good work. Yeah. No, I didn't.
Thank you.
My phrase is obviously she had multiple jobs to make the ends meet. That's why I was talking about Toby. Then he was a slow-moving man. That was Ben. Or I said that about Ben.
Oh.
Then I'm in the middle, and I don't know what to decide. That's when I was asking who your favorite was.
Oh.
And then this one you caught. She was out on the deck of the ship when she saw the first ghost. Again, I said that.
That one was so hard.
Yeah.
See, I honestly thought that was the first one you'd said. Because like the whole time I was like, is he even trying?
Yeah. And then after that, we talked about the falafel stuff, and I talked about you being vegetarian, and I said I do not eat meat. Then I said I take showers twice a month, which was part of the sand digging again. Also, part of the sand digging was we were like purple ducks in a gray pond.
Yeah, that one you kind of just
I
threw
just
out.
threw it in there, yeah. Then
Yeah, but again, that was
I
tricky.
don't know how it happened, but apparently there was a repeat. 8 was she had multiple jobs to make the ends meet. So I had that one
Again,
twice. Yep.
yeah, I wondered why you'd come back and said that one again. I was like,
Yeah.
surely that was a prompt.
And then 9, my final one was the car crash was so instantaneous that I barely had time to process it, which I didn't think I'd get to say, but then I remember Adam talking about the left side of the road thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's
What was your next prompt on the list that you
my
didn't
next
get
one
time?
was, do you
Yeah.
really want to play this game with me, mister? I would have definitely said that one
Oh,
if we had like 2 minutes more. What was your next prompt?
yeah. Well, my next one was really tricky, actually. Mine was the cat jumped over the fence.
Okay. Yeah.
We didn't see any cats or fences,
No, we
really.
didn't. All right. Well, that is get the word across. We did this one on jet lag. If you like jet lag, again, I have to say I love watching jet lag. It's such a great show on YouTube where it's just like this whole game competition based on traveling, and it's just amazing to
We
see.
love traveling.
It's an awesome show, so you should definitely watch that. Jet lag. This isn't like sponsored or anything. I just really like the show. Um, Otherwise,
But if they do want to sponsor us, hello.
Yes, of course. They are more than welcome to reach out, or if they need a guest, they are more than welcome to reach out.
Yeah.
Anyways, thanks.
They're probably never gonna take us as guests after hearing this, honestly.
Anyways,
The shambles.
that was Get the Word Across. Hope you liked it. Thanks for listening to Get the Word Across. Get the Word Across is owned and produced by Open Mic Podcasts. If you like Get the Word Across and want to see more episodes,
Get the Word Across one more time.
or if you like Get the Word Across and want to see what else Open Mic Podcast has to offer, subscribe to Open Mic Podcast on YouTube and follow Open Mic Podcast on Spotify and Instagram. Come back 2 weeks from today for the next episode of Get the Word Across, but also come back on Saturday for the next episode of Musical Makers.
Yes,
the podcast
we're just at the
where
tip
we
of
make
the iceberg.
musicals based off of themes. Thank you, and see you next time.